Well, hey y'all, how's it going? I first I apologize for getting started a little tiny bit late here today. It had completely not occurred to me that hey, don't I have to download that update first? And I do. Hey, my name is Steve. I stream a whole bunch of different things. Tonight, I am going to take advantage of the fact that that I stream, and the fact that Final Fantasy XIV came out with the update 6.5.5, which some have referred to as sort of the epilogue for Endwalker, the prologue for the forthcoming expansion, Dawntrail. I am excited to play it. I did watch Zeppela play it a little bit today. I listened to much of it um, while I was working, and I'm really excited to get to go through it. But I have my Vieira Stefan, who I don't really have to worry about his name very much because it's awfully close to my own. But I have my machinist, and we will get rolling. Actually, he's in his ridiculously dorky looking alchemy gear right now, but we will fix that post haste. Right now, we are cursed with the now loading screen, but at least we have the very lovely background of Radzat Han there. If you are watching this over on YouTube, Final Fantasy XIV is not a big game that I stream like ever. I'll stick this on YouTube just to have something, just for content. If it gets a dozen views, I'll be positively thrilled. There we go. There's me. There's me. All right. Hey, let's change clothes. Everybody can look at my positively awful UI here. We want my machinist gear. Thank you very much. Oh, for heaven's sake. I tell you, there are days that this game is going to drive me to drinking. Here, discard those. I could buy them again. What about these? Discard them as well. Buy them again. Is that it? Are we good now? Are we good? Can we do this thing? Oh, we're using that one now. Machinist. Son of a bee sting. Well, I'm not going to run around and do alchemy. Alchemy is not, I mean, it's got its place. It's just not exciting. None of these are where, well, maybe this is where it's at. Let's get rid of some of these. We don't need to be carrying around a whole bunch of mortars. And I'll bet, discard. Can I discard it? Yeah, there we go. We'll discard that as well. I'll bet that's why we had a problem. Let's see if that was it. Maybe I'm completely wrong. And once again, this is going to wind up being strike 3. No, it's not. That's more like it. Oh, I really dig my machinist look. It's so good. It just has such an awesome, cool steampunk vibe. That makes me happy. All right. Hey, we have to go and get started. Next main scenario quest is called When One Door Closes. It is over in Ilsabard. Let's just teleport to Radzat Han. Let's take the fast way. I'm super excited for this. I had been spending most of my time in Final Fantasy XIV kind of grinding crafting professions, trying to make enough money to buy a house. Houses aren't cheap, and I don't have very much money, so it's a lot of work. My friend Heather has been giving me some excellent guidance on making money and some different crafting projects I can be doing. So I've kind of been working on that, and it's been working. It has definitely been working. Like, in the time since she and I have started working on it, I have probably almost doubled the amount of money that I had. So, and we're talking like a week or two. If you aren't familiar with it, Radzat is one of the areas that was introduced in Endwalker. And I mentioned it as many times as I feel like I could, but maybe we should say this one more time. If you have not played through Endwalker yet, and you do not want to be spoiled on things, odds on there are spoilers ahead. And if that is an issue for you, then maybe don't watch. As much as I hate to say that, because I love having people here. I love having people watch on YouTube and tell me, oh, hey, you should have done this. Your guy looks like a dork. Or whatever. But I don't want to spoil anyone. That's the worst. That's positively the worst. We're about to get an ad here on Twitch. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and run it in just a few seconds. Go and get a drink, whatever. And then we'll be back. I won't do anything cool until you all are back. I promise. Okay, I actually snoozed it, so we could do this. Let's do. I got bored. I didn't want to. Actually, you know what? Let's take the Ethernet. We'll just teleport. Actually, let's look at some of these real quick. We'll just look at some glamours. See if any of them are cool. Get out of the way, pal. She looks badass. She looks super fierce. What about this guy? Very cool. That is sort of like a, I mean, it's a Reaper glam, but that's very neat. I dig it. I dig it. I get the feeling a lot of people will come here because they want to be seen and show off their glamour. And I am here for it. I am 100% okay for it. Okay, where is our quest? It is way up here. Go there. Thankfully, the Ethernet teleport is free because I paid nearly 1,000 to teleport here. And for someone who is trying to make money, that's kind of a lot. All right, let's get up there. Whole bunch of people getting started on this. All right, let's roll. Ah, Stefan, one of my clerks was just here with a message for you. I'm trying to do Varshan's voice. I'm doing a poor job. I'm just going to press on. The students of Baldassian request your presence in Charlian at your earliest convenience. I mean, I got to teleport there? Indebted as I am to our friends, I'd hope that I too might be of service, but it is you alone they require. If you've no pressing business, pray make your way to the Baldassian Annex in at once. Ojika awaits your arrival. In the meantime, I shall continue showing Aja the city. From notable landmarks to the people's lives, there is still much and more for her to see. Aja is his sister, who we rescued. Farewell for now, my friend. I look forward to the day we set forth on another adventure together. Me too, Varshan. High five! Varshan, who you can't see so well right now, but that is him right there. That is his child form. He also has an adult form, and then he has his true form in which he's a dragon. All right, Varshan. Peace out, my friend. All right, now the Baldassian Annex, this is yet another teleport. And another, and it's a big one. 1,600 to Old Charlian. Ah. I mean, couldn't they have just texted? I feel like that's a text message. Hey, come here and see us. You don't need to have me running all over creation. I'm trying to save money to buy a house. I think I need to, in the future, if I'm going to stream this at all, I need to move this onto one of my SSD drives. That's what I've decided. Gonna need to install it on an SSD drive. Right now it's on one of my OG drives, which is okay if you're playing alone, but if you're streaming, sitting and watching loading screens kind of sucks. All right, we are going students about. Can we open the locked box? I mean, it's locked. It's locked tight. Well, oh, with that then. I'm trying to remember exactly how to get there. I think it's sort of a roundabout. If not, I'm just gonna go back out here and try and teleport as close as I can. I wanted to do like a cool little, their aetheryte is so neat. I wanted to do a cool little tour of Old Charlene. It is a really neat place. But what are you gonna do? Let's see. We will go to the Baldesian Annex. Bam. All right. Ad is coming up in about 25 seconds. We're going to let that one roll. But once again, I am indeed just going to let that... I am indeed just going to sit for a bit. So if you are hanging out with me live, we are not going to go and do anything super awesome or exciting. Now would be a great time to go and get like a... a little bite to eat or something along those lines. Hey, if you're still with me, those folks are at an ad right now, and I feel bad for them. What are you gonna do? We will get started here in just a bit. I'm gonna wait until those folks get back. While they're doing that, let's look at some glamours. If you don't play Final Fantasy XIV, part of the game is looking cool. Oh, I kind of wanted to see that person. Look at hers. I mean, she's got the nylons with the boots, this awesome coat. And she's a marauder, if I remember correctly. That's the job she's playing. I have no idea what this dude is, but I know I have that coat with the revolver because I think it's really cool. I think he's hiding his weapon, so we have no idea what class he is. Okay, well, she's obviously dressed for like church or some kind of religious ceremony. That's my guess. What about this dude? I mean, he looks very sharp. He's a ninja, I think, with the two daggers there. There's one of my, well, I'm not really my countrymen, but and we're the same race. This dude too. Endwalker was actually the first that let Viera, the bunnies there, actually be guys. Before that, all the Viera were female. And I actually was playing a male Mikote, which are the cat boy guys or cat girls, whichever. But now, oh man, I had time. I got like so incredibly dapper. I'm just a huge fan of the way my dude looks. That probably sounds ridiculous. And you know what? I see it. At the same time, I tell you, it's got the best free trial in the game in MMORPGs. You ought to go try it and see if you don't wind up in the same place. Let's talk to Ojika. Hey, everybody who's back from ads. We've just been looking at people's pretty glamours. A warm and hearty welcome to you, Stefan. I gather you received our message? Please wait here while I fetch Kryl and Graha. Y'all are familiar with Icy Wiz, who frequently spends time in the chat. Graha is Graha Tia, who is also her boyfriend. Ask her and she'll tell you. Thank you for coming on such short notice. And forgive us for sending you so soon after your trials in the void. Now then, we aren't actually the ones who require your presence, but Aaronville. He stopped by recently, you see, and asked us to reach out to you on his behalf. I imagine you're as surprised as we are, given that he was supposed to be away on a long expedition. Something must have necessitated a change in his plans. All he would tell me is there was someone whom he wishes Stefan to meet. He also mentioned that he would be tending to business at the stadium. Studium, not stadium. Shall we look for him there? Stadium is probably much cooler than some place called the Studium, the Studium. When I was a student, I would not have enjoyed a place called the Studium. But I had a lot of good times at places that were stadiums. Can we go in here? No? Listen, all I want is to go in. Oh, and maybe click on the thing that I didn't see. Yes, enter the main hall, please. Rebel, hey, how's it going? I do play Final Fantasy XIV. Actually, quite a bit. I don't stream it very often. In fact, I can't remember the last time I streamed it. This is normally kind of the game that I play, you know, with friends or by myself. But I do. I play Machinist is my main job. I also play a Reaper or a Red Mage. I have them all at 90. Of the three, Machinist is certainly my favorite. I was looking at who I follow on Twitch and saw your game status is Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, I love this game. And I probably wouldn't be streaming it today, but the update came out and I had to see it. I had to. I listened to Zeplo run it today. I didn't get to watch it, but I listened to her kind of off and on streaming it. And she called it like the epilogue for Endwalker and the prologue for Dawntrail. And I was like, I need to play this the very second I can put my bottom in a chair in front of my computer, which is now. So, I mean, I imagine there are folks who are like, aren't you supposed to be, you know, streaming? And I mean, I am streaming. Yeah, I thought this is where we were going, but it apparently is not. I'm gonna bring the map up here. It is way over there. Well, what am I doing in here then? Positively the wrong place. I am in Crystal. I'm on the Mateus world, although that doesn't matter a whole lot. All right, let's duck out here. And we'll just grab the Ethernet shard. Nah, you didn't distract me at all. I am addle-brained enough to make that mistake all on my own. And we'll just pop over to, that's right, she wanted to go to the Studium. Or as I call it, the Studium. In fact, I can see it's even dropped me back in the Novice Network because I still have like a little flower on my main name. There we go. I'm like a returning person. Here we go. Everyone is here. Listen, I want to talk to Kryl. Now then, where is Aaronville? Right. No, I had spent a few months away playing World of Warcraft, and then I came back, and I'm gonna watch this now. I am completely convinced that Aaronville is very jealous of my character.
Apologies for the wait. I hope I haven't called you away from anything important. I chanced upon some commissioned items at my destination, so I thought I might deliver them.
Where did you go, if I may ask?
The New World. Tural.
It's insane every time there is an update how crowded people surround NPCs, especially Lalafels. It's true! Like, if everybody has to talk to Kryl, boy, it's hard to pick her out of a crowd.
You went to Tural? Then the person who you wish to introduce?
Aye, she hails from there. I present to you...
Well, it seems you've lost her.
Did she wander off?
Yeah, Aaronville, where's your date? There we go.
Sorry. It's just so different here. I can't help but want to explore.
Well? While you were exploring, your candidate came to us. This is him. The adventurer you crossed the seas to meet.
Ooh,
That was weird. I'm not sure if you guys
I'm
had a little
Muklamat,
hiccup there or
claimant
not.
to the throne
I did.
Of Tulihuela.
She is in the trailer. Muklamat, claimant to the throne of Tuliolel. All right.
Tuliolol.
It's Tural's governing nation. The capital bears the same name.
I'll get to the point. I want you to come with me to my homeland.
Given the magnitude of the request, perhaps you should explain why you're
That's a
making it.
really good idea. Although I'm
Of
totally
course, of
already
course.
in.
Soon, an event of great import will be held in Tural. The Right of Succession. Taking the form of a contest, it will determine who next ascends the throne. As daughter to its present keeper, I will participate. And I have every intention of winning.
All right. That sounds fun. I'm absolutely 100% in.
I was searching for champions to join me when Erenville told me about you.
That's because he's so jealous.
A mighty warrior who knows no fear, who sweeps aside terrible fiends as if they were reeds, who flew to the edge of existence and saved our star.
That's right. That was all me. Well, I mean, it was me and
She asked who
everyone
Eorzea's
else
greatest
who
hero was.
finished
And so I told her.
Endwalker.
Much more elegantly, I might add.
Now you know why. You'll come to Tural, yes?
Wait, let's all just slow down.
All right, Graha, we're going. We're doing it.
Wuklamat, was it? You claim to be of the royal family, but is it not the Mamulja who rule in Tural?
Tulihuela is a nation of many peoples. Not only the Mamulsha, as some across the seas are quick to assume.
That is not what I meant to hit.
That said, its present ruler is a Mamulsha, and one blessed with two heads besides.
Wow, that's got to be something to see.
He's also my father. Not by blood, obviously, but he raised me as his own, and that's what matters.
So that is the way of it. My apologies if I was indelicate.
At least he's polite. Grahati is a good guy.
Hardly. I know little about your land, and nothing about your parentage. But in my eagerness, I've gotten ahead of myself. I can't expect you to agree on the spot when we've only just met.
Are you kidding? I'm in.
If you
I'm
have
already
any
in.
questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Just know, though, that if it's adventure you seek, you could do far worse than come with me. Now, this is only a rumor. But apparently, the contest will involve the fabled city of gold and the legendary beast, Valiarmanda.
That sounds great. I am all about cities of gold. You may have heard that I'm trying to buy a house. And I don't know who Valiarmanda is, but I'm guessing someone with a name like that is going to have good loot.
Tell me that doesn't pique your interest.
Hey, you're darn right. Yeah, you have my complete attention.
We're going to get along, you and I. Tural has no shortage of unexplored frontiers and deadly fiends. You'll never want for excitement, I promise you.
So one of the comparisons that I've heard.
I advise you not to put much store
I'll
by
wait
these
until
rumors.
these guys finish talking.
Golden cities are not but a dreamer's fancy.
Says the dreamer who was bent on finding one when he was a child. Just because you failed doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
That's right, Aaronville.
Tuliolal and the Golden City. Just like in the letter to Grandfather.
Regardless of what the contest may entail, it'll be no simple thing. If I'm to triumph, I'll need capable and dependable companions. So let's go on a hunt together. There's no better way to get acquainted.
All right, that sounds fun. I'm in. I'm assuming that we're gonna go maybe run a trial or maybe a duty. Either way, that sounds fun, and I'm in. And there, I mean, I think that about covers my teleporting costs. Okay, Grahatia, what do we have here? Baba Ganoush. I think that's probably what we're gonna take. Not that. Probably not the cab. Okay, we are gonna take the Baba Ganoush. Kind of short. Oh, hey! Awesome! Except, there we go. The chance to see not only Tural, but the fabled Golden City besides. This is the stuff of grand adventures, my friend. Which is not to say you should hastily accept this invitation, mind. There's still a great deal we do not know. So let us begin to rectify that by getting acquainted with our visitor in the manner she suggests. Really? You wanna... You like my adventure play? Thank you! I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. I'm not certain what might be a suitable location for her hunt, however. When I was at the guild earlier, I learned about a petition from researchers on the Isle of Ham. It's hard not to say Isle of Ham there, I'll admit. You went there not long ago and culled some unruly fauna, of course, but according to recent reports, other ordinarily docile fauna have grown savage. It's believed they've been unsettled by some manner of predator, and so the researchers seek assistance with identifying and dispatching it. As part of your hunt, perhaps you might answer the petition? This is starting to sound trial-ish. The Isle isn't far, and we would also be helping those in need. That works for me. That works for me too, Wook. Just so you know, I've honed my skills against some of the fiercest beasts in Tural. Whatever this creature is, it had better be able to put up a proper fight, or we'll end it before we have the chance to get acquainted. Kinda like her. She's alright. Kryl is deep in thought. And before we can prove ourselves capable and dependable companions... My apologies, but I must see to some preparations. Pray go on ahead to the Isle. I will join you as soon as possible. If the rest of you are ready, then let us head to the harbor. This being guild ship business, it should be simple enough to secure a vessel. I really like the way boats look in Final Fantasy XIV, and that's sort of a weird thing to say, but I think they have such a neat like vibe to them. They look so grand. Hold on, we are gonna look at Pebble's glamour here. Oh, now that is very sharp. That is very sharp indeed. Really like that jacket. Hey, can you dye that jacket you're wearing? because that jacket, like, I would probably wear it in black. Or I might wear it kind of in like a cream color. But I kind of dig it. Yeah, that's pretty sharp. All right. We're going to look up more about that later. Oh, we can't mount here. Gotta run. And this is actually something that we could take. We could just take an Ethernet crystal. And I think we will. All right, we'll pop in the Aetherite crystal. I think this is probably the closest one, Scholar's Harbor. That makes sense. Like, even the smaller vessels, these are probably, you know, like small travel vessels or merchant vessels or something. They're still cool, but like the really grand ones, I mean, look at this. They look amazing. I love that. When they first started talking about Dawntrail, and they were talking, you know, there were kind of like hints of like a new world and stuff, I wanted so badly for one of the new classes to be like some kind of like sailor or pirate or something like that. And I was a little let down when, you know, they announced Viper as the first one and then Pictomancer as the second. But Viper looks actually like it's pretty neat. I think I might enjoy playing it. I might give it a try. Yeah, sure. Wait, Limsa? That doesn't sound right at all. No! Wrong boat. Okay, so we are going to be taking one of the smaller boats, which is okay. Not as excited about it. So we have to take a ship? I barely set foot on dry land. Oh well, I suppose it's for a good cause. A hunt. Come on, let's get going. On boarding the ship, several cutscenes will play in sequence. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. I got all kinds of time. Let's roll. Oh, that's okay. No problem. Hey, can you dye that jacket? I like it. I think it looks cool. Okay, in addition, you will be required to participate in battle. Not a trial. All right. Your progress will be saved at certain points. In the event you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, the progress will be lost. Fair enough. Actually, we're going to leave for just a sec. Maybe have a little, I mean, even if it's just kind of minor buff food, anything is better than nothing. Okay, now we're ready. Let's roll. My item level is not 660. I want to say mine is 640 something. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about it.
From here, we must walk.
It looks cold.
So much ice. It rivals even Yogg-Tural. Ooh, a white bear. I wonder what it tastes like.
What a weird question.
Remember, we're here to deal with creatures that have been deemed an unacceptable danger. Do not attack anything else unprovoked.
But it looks so delicious.
I know. So this is the isle where ether literally bursts forth.
The Isle of Ham. The geysers lie deep inland, however.
You really are knowledgeable. Kona told me nothing about this place.
I doubt your brother managed to come out this way. He's like to have toured facilities like Labyrinthos, however.
The great big
Oh, I've done
cavern
that
under the
too.
city. It's amazing that they could make a sky down there complete with a sun.
This brother of yours, he has been to Sharlayan.
He has. Kona's my second older brother, and until recently he was a student in this city. He went on and on about technological amusements. It made me want to come here too one day. And so I did. I think I understood something of how he felt when I set foot in his beloved studium.
He went to the studio. Your brother must be quite a scholar.
Kind of surprised
But
Grahatia
I
doesn't know.
wonder, like you, he'd be royalty, yes? With such a personage coming to Sharlayan to receive an education would surely have caused a stir, yet I recall nothing of the sort.
He consulted with the head of the studium beforehand, that his identity might remain secret.
Okay, that's why.
Being Mikote, he had no trouble blending in. He's adopted like me, you see. One time, though, he almost let it slip to a professor. It was all he could do to parry the barrage of questions.
Having no shortage of questions myself, I can imagine.
Ask whatever you like. I don't mind. But I maintain, hunting together is the best way to get to know someone.
I wonder if kind of like her style of dress is maybe like a peek at kind of the style of clothing we can expect to see there. And I mean, the kind of things that we'll get. It's too bad, because I really kind of like my dapper little steampunk outfit, but can always glamour it.
The researchers should be up ahead. Let's find them and learn what we can.
All right. Your item level has been
The
synced to
researchers should be just
660.
ahead.
Because otherwise it would be, I don't know, 646 maybe?
There.
Trying to remember
building to
where
the northeast.
my gear score is.
So, ordinarily harmless creatures have grown savage.
I see a couple of
Don't
them
know what's
dead
got them
ahead.
riled up, but I'll take down any that thinks to try me. Right, let's hunt our fill.
Well, that wasn't that hard at all. And we walked over those guys.
Look! Someone's in trouble!
Someone help!
Yeah, taste my axe.
These animals are usually so docile.
We'll just continue burning them all. Oh, there's just the one guy left. Ah, done. All right, listen, I don't want to do your side quest. I take it you're the one who answered our petition. Wait, aren't you? You are. Stefan, the adventurer who saved our star. But our meeting was under better circumstances. I was conducting a routine inspection of the transporter here when I suddenly found myself surrounded. You'll find more of the same across the chasm. Once docile animals grown strangely aggressive. My colleagues there can tell you more. If you'll just give me a moment, I can finish checking our equipment.
You really are famous.
It's true?
And for good reason, as you'll soon see for yourself.
Okay, Grahatia, you don't need to chalk me up anymore. It's alright. Where do I have? I just wanted to make sure I remembered where I put auto crossbow.
Quite an interesting contraption you've got here.
Is that our petitioner? Let's go and have a chat.
I'm guessing we're up here with the concerned researcher. The adventurer come to answer my petition, I presume? We're most fortunate to have one of your considerable skill here to aid us. A creature of unknown origins has been sighted on the island in recent days, and we believe its presence to have affected the local fauna. The animals beyond this gate are the worst affected we've encountered thus far, though we dare not go back. Your task is to quell any threats you find and search for traces of the beast responsible for all of this. If you should find anything at all, we would be most grateful if you would share it with us. I mean, if there's any loot, I'm keeping it, just so y'all know.
I'll handle this.
Don't. Okay, listen. I was right in the. I had activated like hypercharge and everything.
Come on, let's pick up the creature's trail.
I'm guessing that this is part of it. I mean, I don't play Monster Hunter, but I'll bet this is part of it.
These claw marks, I've seen their like before.
Okay, tell me all about it. No, she wants it to be a surprise. She plays Monster Hunter. Actually, my usual Tuesday, Thursday game is Horizon Zero Dawn, which has quite a bit of hunting and tracks and all that sort of thing. You find feathers are scattered or about the ground. There are signs of a fierce struggle.
Feathers? But did they belong to the predator or the prey?
Oh, who knows, Grahatia? Who knows?
So, how do you prefer our prey? Roasted or raw?
I kind of like deep fried.
You presume it's even safe to eat?
Animal leavings. Gross. The cloying stench of fresh leavings assails your nostrils. Whatever beast left them is likely still close by.
Still fresh. Whatever this beast, it cannot be far.
Gross. Uh-oh. I think this will take care of them.
Do you suppose they're upset we disturbed their host?
You think?
Who knows? If they're spoiling for a fight, then hey, got one.
Let's dot them up, and we'll go shotgun crazy.
Let's head back and report what we found.
kind of surprised that. I mean, I know Graha has some skills, but I didn't know Erenville could do anything except be jealous of how much more handsome I am than him. I have a feeling I know what's going to happen. I sort of expected it to pop from
Powerful
behind the
razor sharp talons.
inside the chasm there, but
prey.
yeah, okay, Wook, that sounds all right. Do you want to let us know it's there, or whoa? Okay.
Ah! What is that thing?
I think that's probably. It's a giant, enormous, terrifying parrot.
It speaks?
It's the minor bird of death. Actually, I think minor birds are black, but still, it is the parrot of death. Now, do we have a trial? I feel like this is trial
It's
country.
heading towards the falls.
I'll stay with the researchers. The creature, I leave to you.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was coming, Erenville. You stay back here. You're nowhere near handsome enough for this.
Right. Just so we're clear, I wasn't startled by the beast earlier. It caught me by surprise, that's all.
Hey, Wook, you know what? No one's gonna say a word about it.
Forgive me, but I failed to see a difference.
Graha, be nice.
I'm getting hungry. Let's be done with this so we can eat.
She's hangry. Or hangrified. Hungry, angry, and terrified. Hangrified. Oh my god, shut up. You stupid bird. I can't wait for you to be dead.
Think you're clever, huh? I'll rip off that beak and roast you on a spit!
Alright, Wook, I'm with you. Not a trial. Okay. I sort of expected it to be, but I suppose not. Wook, you're gonna tank this, aren't ya? Aren't ya? Aren't ya? She's not. All right.
Talk all you like, bird. I'm going to have the last laugh. Oh, I'm going to enjoy sinking my teeth into you. Shut up already, you blasted bird!
Look out!
Ouch.
I've never seen such an enormous colibri.
Not good. Quickly, gather together.
Gross.
I've got you.
There we go. Hey, thank you.
Too close.
That was too close. I did not care for that at all. go. Oh no. Okay. I think we did. Okay, whew, that was close. Save them? But how? Like shoot at them? I don't know how to save them. I honestly have no idea how to save them. Oh wait, I do target the whirlwind. I do target the whirlwind. My bad. My bad entirely. Okay, take two. My bad entirely. That was my fault, y'all. Oh, come on. Level sync. No. We can just continue where we were. Resume from midway. Please, I mean, if you could resume right from the beginning of that fight, that would be fantastic. Can we do that? This is pretty close, I guess. Skip cutscene. Yes, we just watched it.
Talk all you like, Bird. I'm going to have the last laugh. Oh, I'm going to enjoy sinking my teeth into you. Yeah, shut up already, you blasted bird!
Actually, we're gonna get hit. Ouch, that wasn't great. Grahachi, if you wanted to hit with like one of those like heals you got going on, that would be okay. He did. I'm not ever gonna be able to make fun of him again.
Gather together.
Ew, gross.
I've got you.
Okay, now that was all right. That was pretty good. I've got to give her respect for that. Hey, I did it. All right. I did not do that. That's not awesome. Let's get the robot out there.
Damn it. Spread out, everyone.
Ouch.
Pay for that.
Okay, so now there we go. Hey, I did it that time. Let's get the automaton out there again. Are we supposed to? I'm guessing we're supposed to destroy a wing right now.
Try this. Nothing to it. We have you now, you loudmouth bastard!
She talks a lot during fights. That is okay with me. Did it just shout loudmouth bastard back at us? All right. Hey, okay, got it.
And I had barely limbered up.
Oh, come on. You were screaming in terror a little while ago. You were hangrified. Graha, don't say a word about it. Be nice.
It was a terrible foe, but no match for your axe.
There you go. That's a good guy right there. That's polite.
Only to be expected. You were pretty impressive yourselves. I was right to invite you on a hunt. But what a curious bird that was.
Round two.
Though we have similar
Wonderful.
in Toral, they don't grow so big or use such dirty tricks.
Dirty tricks, dirty tricks.
Aye, dirty and despicable. Otherwise, I could have...
Oh. It's back. Again. We to round two this thing?
Leave this to me.
Oh, damn! Cryle getting her Pictomancy on! Oh, come on. She one-shots it with her Pictomancy after it took us
Cryle.
2 tries and a good 4-minute fight. Maybe Viper is the wrong way to go. Maybe I need to be rolling Pictomancy.
I am terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
She arrived as I was seeing the researchers to safety. It was all I could do to keep up with her after I explained what
The
happened.
look on Stefan's face there when he's looking back at her really is like, the hell?
So this is what you meant by seeing to preparations?
After hearing of the contest, I thought how wonderful it would be to join you. In coming here, I wanted to demonstrate my skill at arms to Wuklamut. Alas, it seems I missed most of the action.
I don't know. I would call that a formidable demonstration right there.
That was amazing! The piece didn't stand a chance!
I'm glad to have been of service.
May I ask what inspired this change?
You will recall the time you descended to the ethereal sea in search of Heidelin. Recognizing that my skills were inadequate, I chose to provide support from afar, rather than join you. It was the same when you set forth for Ultima Thule. How it pained me to stay behind, again and again. That's what inspired this change. Ever since the final days were averted, I've used every spare moment to hone my craft. As you all have adapted your methods to suit the circumstances, I started by considering how I might best contribute.
And now there will be legions of them.
And after much
just gonna do the
deliberation,
exact same
I
thing.
arrived at my answer.
Yeah? That's so cute.
With the esoteric art passed down by the legendary Archon realm, Pictomancy. As I recall, you have embraced versatility to effectively complement a certain someone's style. What I do is much the same. Like you, I don't want to be left behind.
Indeed. I must say, you appear to be especially keen on being involved in the ritual of succession. Is there any particular reason?
Yes, there is. This letter from Tuli Yolal.
I wonder if this is, she talked about grandfather's
It
letter.
was addressed to my grandfather Galef.
There we go, yeah.
And turned up among the students' archives. The ink was faded, so I couldn't fully make out the sender's name. Galul, someone.
Jaja. Gulul Jaja. That's my father, the Dawn servant. What does the letter say?
While much of it isn't legible, it appears to be a request to investigate the Golden City.
A request to investigate the Golden City? From the Dawn servant himself?
For once, Aaronville just isn't too blown away by how much better looking I am than him. He actually has something else to contribute to the conversation.
Well, well. Seems it may be more than a rumor after all.
I like Wuklamut. I've decided she's
Being a
cool,
member
and
of the
I'm looking
royal
forward to
family,
hanging out with her.
It was my hope that you could confirm the authenticity of this letter.
I can say for a fact that my father didn't write this. Given how culturally diverse Tuliyolal is, it was decided some time ago that a common language was needed. But instead of elevating an existing tongue and its speakers above all others, we looked to those widely spoken overseas and created an altogether new one.
So they all spoke different languages, and they didn't want to make one person's language or one group's language better than the others. That makes sense. So they took a language from overseas and decided, hey, that's going to be ours. There was a conversation on Zeppela's stream today, and I was going to say this earlier, but where they said that there were a lot of unique parallels between the Tural and America as the New World when people were colonizing, when it was being colonized. In that we had people coming from many different cultures, speaking many different languages. We all just sort of adopted English instead of one of those many different tongues. And it's not necessarily that English, you know, we took it from over there because a lot of the colonists were English speaking, but everyone there sort of adopted English as their language. It's kind of a parallel. Maybe I'm reaching a little bit, but still I like it.
The similarities to your common tongue also make it quite easy to communicate in these situations, no? This letter, however, is entirely in Eorzean. If Father had written this, he would have been in Turali. What's more, it bears a wax seal. We don't bother with them.
So the letter is fraudulent, then?
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. My father's signature is genuine, as far as I can tell, so perhaps he simply dictated it.
That's weird.
I see. Oh, thank you for the confirmation. It seems my grandfather indeed had dealings with Tuli Yolal.
Although, if her father dictated it, that means there is a second person who knows about that letter. The person to whom it was dictated. I wonder if that's someone we're going to run into.
I can't help but be curious as to what exactly he was doing there. In order to help us decide on a course of action, would you mind if I asked you some questions about your home?
By all means. After all, learning about one another was the purpose of this hunt. We can talk while feasting on this fellow. I, for one, am starving.
It's funny, in the Dawntrail trailer, there is, I mean, a big thing with Estinian fighting this giant beast. And after performing some super mega awesome Dragoon move, I've never played Dragoon, so. Anyway, he pulls this on it, and like in the very next scene, they're all feasting on what looks like the chopped up remains that are being cooked of a very large beast. Where, I mean, one is led to believe that one has become the other. And now they're doing kind of the same thing, you know, we just fought this and now it's going to be our dinner.
We're eating that.
Grahatia doesn't care for that idea. I'm sure it tastes just like chicken. Super hungry too. I mean, that's a strange thing to have come up with, but I really am. All right, who are we talking to now? Is it Aaronville again? With the wildlife pacified and the research safe, our task is complete. That just leaves the matter of the Calibri meat. For better or for worse, there's really only one place we can take it to here in Charlian, the last stand. Come, let us see what Stickin can cook up for us. All right, I'm game. Let's do it. Pebble Beach mentioned my, what do you call it? My card earlier. I'm trying to remember exactly how I get to it. Where did I put my adventure plate? I've like done it one time and now I've kind of forgotten about it. There we go. Adventure plate. This is mine right here. These are really cool. You can kind of create your own, kind of mark usually when you play the sort of things you're interested in. You can put in a little comment here or whatever. I like fortune favors the brave. That's one of my favorites. Little statements. I really like mine. There are a lot of others that are certainly going to be better. The making a portrait for it is kind of an art, and it's one that I am improving at, but I'm not great at it yet. Really like the music right here. It's just like kind of super chill and relaxing. There's just sort of a comfortable happiness in it that I like. Well, now, there's a famished face if ever I've seen one. What can I get you, Stefan? Oh, bird meat from the hunt, you say? Leave it to me, I have just the recipe. The new dish I recently learned from some sailors. And for you lot, it's on the house. Have as much as you like, you hear? Goodness.
Come, come. Let's enjoy the bounty of our first outing together.
Not seeing a whole lot of veg on those plates. I mean, that's okay. But, boy, there's no peas or carrots or anything. There's no salad. There's that.
I'd heard that Charlayan cuisine was terrible, but this is fantastic.
What is this? Oh, it smells spicy.
Oh, come now. Since when did you become so soft? It's not like we don't have spicy food in Tural, too.
Okay, so that's maybe some kind of curry? Maybe that's my guess. Oh boy.
According to Dickon, intensely hot dishes have become popular in Razadhan after a traveler ordered a curry
It is
with
curry.
several times the usual amount of spice.
Rajasthan is kind of the analog for India, I guess.
So he started offering the same in order to please the growing Harnish population here in Charlian.
You want like some milk maybe, or
It's nothing I can't handle.
you want some water? Or I've heard sometimes that like a cold beer is good. Wow.
Your boorish manners reflect poorly on the both of us. I wish you would consider your station.
Oh my gosh, Aaronville, pull the stick out.
I swear, sometimes it feels like you open your mouth only to criticize.
That's right, Wook, you tell him.
Would I be correct in assuming you've known each other for a long time?
Aye, thick as thieves since we were little.
I beg to differ. She is a long-standing acquaintance. Nothing more.
Yeah, are you embarrassed? Aaronville, you're just... I'm not a fan, alright? Super jealous. You're not very
I
nice to my
see.
good friend,
I
Wook
see.
Lamont.
All this time you were from Toronto?
Oh, I interrupted
and
Kryl.
everyone
I'm
else.
sorry.
I've kept it quiet so as to avoid the endless interrogations.
Well, if he's going to be a miser, I'll be happy to tell you about our homeland instead.
Oh, there is a little salad here. Okay, I take that back. Everyone has a salad. Good for y'all.
Since ancient times, many peoples have called Tural home, and they've been fighting each other for nearly as long. The fighting finally stopped some 80 years ago, when the reigning Dawn Servant unified the disparate communities and founded a new nation.
So Dawn Servant is their king, their leader.
And that's how Tuliolal came to be.
Since then, we've enjoyed an era of uninterrupted peace. But my father is getting old, and he wishes to relinquish the throne to a worthy successor. One who can preserve his legacy. Including myself, there are 4 claimants to the throne. But while we all have the right to participate, one among us cannot be allowed to rule.
There are 4 claimants to the throne. While we all have the right, I'm guessing to participate, she means like to participate in the competition to decide who is going to. One among us cannot be allowed to rule. I don't understand exactly what she's saying there. That's kind of strangely put.
A man who's too ambitious by half.
Oh, I understand. She's saying one of these people can't be him because he's a bad guy. She just didn't say that part. Aaronville is saying. Okay. All right. I'm on board now. Carry on. Continue.
Word of the Garlean Empire's collapse has reached Tural. While most are simply relieved, he sees weakness to exploit and would lead our armies across the seas on a campaign of conquest.
Yeah, that's not good.
After everything my father has done to give us peace, he would drag us back into war. I can't allow it.
Wow. I mean, she's enthusiastic about it.
No matter what, I must win this contest.
I understand your reasons. But this being an event that will dictate the course of your nation's future, is it appropriate for outsiders like us to be involved?
That is a fair question.
Oh, it's more than appropriate. The Dawn Servant himself expressly encourages it.
Go hire mercenaries from other countries. That's fine. We think it's a great
The
idea.
ruler of Tural must navigate the intricacies of myriad cultures, and there's no better way to prove oneself qualified to do so than to work with foreign allies.
Okay. I see the logic there.
That's why I sought you out. Through our hunt, I've confirmed that you're a warrior of considerable skill, but more importantly, one of good character as well.
Have you also seen my fabulous hair and my really cool outfit?
And so I ask you, will you lend me your strength and help me win the throne of Tulihualal?
Right on, Wuklamat, you bet.
You
Where's
don't
my-
need to decide right this moment.
Oh, hey, I decided a long time ago. This is dramatic set dressing.
But I will need you if I'm to triumph over the competition. I'll stay here as long as I can while waiting for your answer.
In that case, allow us to prepare a room for you at the Baldessian Annex.
That's very kind of you.
Do you want to take one with her?
Oh, and
Did you
one
wrap
more
one
thing.
to go?
Once we finish eating, would you mind if I took the rest of the meat?
Yeah, she wants all of it to go. Okay, she wants a to-go bag for all of it, for the rest. Whether Wuk-Lamat has the makings of a ruler, I couldn't say, but I do know that she deeply cares for her nation and her people. Whether you choose to help her, though, is for you and you alone to decide. Think on it well. Now then, it's past time I reported our mission success to the guild ship. I would have done so sooner, except Her Highness needed to have her royal meal. I shall come by the annex later. Till then. Okay, what was I gonna take? I think it was the Bab Ganoush, yeah. What is this? Oh boy, we got a little prize? Fantastic! Well, I dare say we now have a fair grasp of Wuk-Lamat's situation. Still, you have been afforded time to consider her invitation. Why not use it to learn more about Tyrell? Numenon is bound to have some information on the continent. Yeah, just the thought of burying myself in books is making me feel sleepy. We're talking about mysterious lands and unknown wonders here. I'm confident we'll find reports so thrilling as to drive any thoughts of napping from your mind. Come, my friend, let us be off to the archives. Oh, man, all right. Oh, look at the books. It looks like... So we're going way the F over there, so we will go to the studium, but I think we'll take the quick way. I haven't gotten to ride my motorcycle at all. A little bit disappointed. Alright, so we will go to the studium here. Nope, still can't. We're still in Old Charlian, and I can't fire up my motorcycle and go bombing around on it as much as I would like to. There's a big group of people all around because I guess there's a little cutscene here. I have a feeling we're going to find that on all of them. History, geography, botany, the public archives alone should suffice to provide a solid grounding on Tyrell. That doesn't sound exciting. It is impossible to adequately discuss Eorzean cuisine without speaking of that land from which many of our modern-day staples hail, the far western continent of Tyrell. Ogre pumpkins, ruby tomatoes, even the ubiquitous potato. These crops and more that regularly grace Eorzean dining tables trace their origins to the New World, as the place is known to most. The tale of this culinary immigration begins in the year 1498 of the 6th Astral Era, when a Laminsan sailor named Keteram successfully traversed the Indigo Deep to arrive at the therefore unknown continent. Keteram spent several moons exploring inland, in the course of which he encountered the denizens of the sprawling nation of Mamul-Ja. He was even granted an audience with their supreme leader, whose confidence he won along with permission to roam freely. Keteram would return to Tyrell several times, but during his first expedition he charted the land and gathered myriad root vegetables and seeds to bring back to Limsa Lominsa. Most notable of these was the papato, whose ease of cultivation and nutritional value saw it quickly spread to all corners of Eorzea. You could also chop it up and cook it in oil, and it made awesome french fries. Produce was far from the only bounty of Ketenram's expedition to Tyrell, Many tantalizing recipes, such as the bean-filled burrito. Oh, they have burritos there? Fantastic! And gripping legends, such as that of the city of the Golden City, reached our shores by way of his ship. I also just said produce and not produce. Goodness gracious. To those outside of Ketenram's circle, Terrallard largely remains shrouded in mystery, yet its influence on our cuisine cannot be overstated. Many scholars, myself included, would relish the chance to immerse themselves in the culinary culture of that faraway continent. So hungry. All right, what's next? Please, let's not make it be food. Could it be related to something else? This is about Cuisines of Tyrrell, Volume 2. Okay, here we go. Every land has given rise to unique wildlife, and the continent of Tyrrell is no exception. Yet while some of her creatures have become a familiar sight in Eorzea, many and more exist that are rarely seen this side of the Indigo Deep. This tome introduces a select variety of species as described in the testimonies of sailors and adventurers. Alpaca. Accustomed to Tyrrell's craggy mountain ranges, this four-legged beastkin has been domesticated for seemingly hundreds, if not thousands of years. Their soft, white fleece is highly prized by weavers, while their strong legs and sure-footedness make them capable beasts of burden. Weaver, I'm gonna guess that's how you pronounce it. This ferocious scalekin is native to the dense jungles of Tyrrell. The Mamul-Ja have succeeded in taming them and utilize their prodigious strength for manual labor. Given their immense size and power, it should come as no surprise that the Weaver is also employed as a siege beast. Enemy fortifications cannot long withstand this horned brute's rampage. All right. Oh, that's Valley Armanda. That's what she said earlier. I think that's how it was. Valley Armanda. Tyrrelli folklore holds that this bird-like creature is the mightiest of beasts and the very embodiment of nature's power. Whether it exists beyond myth, however, is uncertain. That's 2! The geopolitics of Heidelin. Really? Okay. Let us begin by comparing the geographical characteristics of the 3 great continents and Tyrrell. The former stretches from east to west and lies entirely within the northern hemisphere. In contrast, the latter extends to the far reaches of both northern and southern hemispheres. Oh, excuse me, y'all. And a difference immediately presents itself in the form of the climate variance. Shifts in climate tend to be gentler when moving east and west, but harsher when moving north and south. Owing to this fact, longitudinal migration is far more common in history, whether it be by men, animals, or plants. A case in point is the Alligans, who rose to power in Aldenard before advancing east into Ilsabard. Their movement would be mirrored thousands of years later by the Garleans. Meanwhile, although the disparate tribes of Tyrrell waged war with one another for generations, stymied by the climate, none could make any great headway north or south. Tribes hailing from frozen lands withered beneath the desert sun, while those that thrived in open plains could not pierce the desert's jungle. Such was the way of it until the leader of the Mamul-Ja succeeded in bringing the continent under one banner. Given the land's divided history and the reason thereof, one cannot help but be in awe of this feat. Truly, it is a testament to the autarch's greatness. That's 3. Just one more. There's just one more book. We're even going to use our fancy Peloton run fast ability. Here we go. Principles of blue magic and spell acquisition. Is that a Tural thing? The origins of blue magic can be traced back to the esoteric practices of the Wallaki, a tribe in the distant continent of Tural. How about that? The tribe holds nature in the highest, and in seeking to cultivate a spiritual connection with it, they have learned to harness the power of the wildlife around them. Oh, this is the Beastmaster-ish thing they were talking about. In exchange for teaching them the common tongue, I was permitted to live among them and train in their ways. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sleepy. Those days were some of the most grueling I remember, but they were tremendously rewarding. I had to get up at like 5:30 a.m. this morning. That was brutal. For instance, I had the privilege of visiting Lapis Canyon, the tribe's sacred grounds. It is so named for the ceruleum deposit that wells up to the surface, turning the entire canyon a brilliant blue. I want to see that place. That sounds awesome. Under a shaman's watchful eye, I finally managed to master the Wallachi's art and make the animal's powers my own. As no name existed for it in the common tongue, I took the liberty of naming it Blue Magic. Okay, cool. The reason I chose this color, as you will have doubtless gleaned, is for the significance it holds to the Wallaki. I cannot think of a name more fitting to honor the people from whom this noble magic was born. I've never tried blue magic in Final Fantasy XIV. I kind of would like to sometime. I think it would be neat. I don't really have time to now, since I'm frantically trying to make money and do the Meanderville quests to get my weapon there. But someday I'm going to make a new blue mage. Having perused a wide selection of books relating to Tural, you are somewhat better informed about your potential destination. Grahatia will be eager to know what you have discovered. Should you wish to read these books again, speak with the reference page. You know what? I might sometime. But not right now. Right now, we're going to go talk to Grahatia. And, I don't know. Maybe there's, like, breakfast involved in a little while. Scoured the library to your satisfaction, have you? Excellent. While there are a few books wholly dedicated to the subject of Tural, I dare say you found tidbits of useful information scattered here and there. But come, let's continue this outside. The mammoths do not take kindly to chatter. Now then, I'm quite keen to hear your honest impressions. I couldn't help but notice that we read the very same book on cuisine. I was pleasantly surprised to find references to Tural within. Among them, did anything in particular pique your interest? I have a newfound... No, I don't know if I have a newfound appreciation. Yeah, the legendary City of Gold. I suspected any mention of the City of Gold would catch your eye. It's truly a mystery among mysteries. Here is a city whose location is unknown, that no one has ever seen, and yet whispers of its existence continue to persist. Countless souls have set off in search of it, never to return. I can imagine it being a suitable challenge for the ritual of succession. But moving on, did you perchance learn about the fauna of Tural? Given your adventuring background, I expect the topic would interest you. Yeah, I'm gonna say I learned about this. These two don't sound all that interesting. That one did. Now, why do I get the impression you're imagining pitting your skills against the fell beast? You're darn right. Unfortunately, I found scant details on your would-be prey. One source simply described it as an enormous winged creature with scales hard as steel that rules the skies. I should like to see it with my own eyes, presuming it even exists. You should come along. I thought I heard familiar voices. It's Alice saying, Alfie Node, what's up? Fancy running into the two of you here. Well, have some research of your own, do you? Aye, we hope to arm ourselves with knowledge that may benefit the Garlean people. Having forged a new trade agreement with Radzat Han, they will next look to foster relations with other nations. This includes former imperial provinces. In view of this, we hope to find hints in history of how neighbors of differing races and ideologies might engage with one another. And what of the two of you? What endeavor brings you here this day? We're going on an adventure, baby. That's what I just said. A nation composed of the disparate peoples of Tyrol. I dare say this is precisely the kind of example we seek. We do well to read up on Tulial ourselves. The contest is Stefan the only one allowed to help Luke Lamont? There was no mention of such restrictions, as I recall. On the contrary, Wook Lamont gave us the impression that she could have several champions. I think I know how to make the most of our respite. Follow me, Alpha Node. We have planning to do. The two of them are coming with us. Alice, wait. It would seem our plans have changed. If you'll excuse me. They never could rest on their laurels. Come, let us return to the annex. So it's going to be me, Grahatia, Trial, Alpha Node, and Alice. I mean, that's okay. And I feel like some of our A team is not there. In fact, I would say I'm the only one of the A team that's there. Although, I don't know, Kryl has actually proven herself to be pretty formidable now. So maybe I shouldn't say that. We are taking the Ethernet shard. Let's see here. We want to go and have a chat with Grahatia on the bridge. That little head tilt my guy did looks like the dude.
Despite all that we've learned, I can't help but feel we've yet to hear the whole story.
Of course not. That's gonna happen in the expansion, bro.
What about you, my friend? Are you inclined to accept or refuse Woklamat's request?
Yeah, I never say no to a new adventure.
I thought you might say that. With an intrepid attitude such as yours, I believe all shall be well. Be it the contest or something else, there will be many trials for you to overcome at your destination. But in the course of seeing new lands and meeting new people, you'll surely find a way forward. That's what adventurers do, is it not?
You're darn right.
Such a journey would be the envy of many a scholar. Distant as it is, Tural remains largely unknown to us, with only meager records to be found in Numenor. The experiences to be had, all the things you might hear, feel, and think.
Wow, that's
It's enough
very
to stir
Heidelin
me
of
to
you
the
there,
core.
Grahatia. Charlene is
Life
really
is a
neat.
series of journeys,
Really a
my
cool
friend,
looking place.
and there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
Grahatia getting deep there.
Ah, but there's an
Although,
idea.
there's wisdom. That's wisdom.
I have a matter to attend to at the Agora. Please, go on inside. I will join you shortly.
Are you going to become a Pictomancer too? He's not going to become he's not going to be the Viper guy, is he? That would not be right. Don't go and get Viper swords and say, oh yeah, by the way, when I was little, this is what I did. I was the Viper boy. How about that? Oh, so shifty. Thancred is so shifty. Why though? Look how crowded this room is. Okay, it's less bad than I thought. Welcome back, Stefan. If you're looking for Wuk-Lamat, she is currently with the others in her chambers. If you like, I can go and fetch them for you. Yeah, that'd be great. Understood. Please wait in the main hall.
You have the look of someone who's made up their mind. Go on then. Let's hear it.
I've never been one to turn down an adventure. I'll do it. I mean, Stefan is very much a fortune favors the bold type of guy. But I'm not going to be the dork that says, I want to boldly go where no one has gone before. No, we're going to say, I've never been one to turn down an adventure. Let's do it.
Excellent. You'll be compensated for your troubles, of course. But I dare say your time in Tural would
compensation
be its own
would be
reward.
great. I am looking to buy a house.
You're not planning to leave without us, are you?
What if Aaronville, like, maybe Aaronville could not come?
No, Alice!
I interrupted her again. I'm so sorry.
We happened to cross paths at Numenon earlier, you see, and I told them about Wooklamat. And when we fortuitously met again at the Agora just now, they expressed an interest in meeting our visitor.
Know who would have been a cool
You must be
cool
the twins
Viper?
who are sneaking after
Alice.
Aaronville as toads.
I mean, I know she's already kind of done the class change thing. Alice would have been a cool Viper. I mean, red mages have kind of fallen out of favor as it is. As much as I love playing mine, they're not, like, the best.
A 100 things about us you could have told her, and you chose that!
It's
First
because he's
impressions last.
kind of a wanker. I mean, that's me calling him like I see him.
"'Tis an honor and a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Your Highness. Alphino Leveilleur at your service, and this is my sister Alice."
Oh no, let's not do that. I really can't stand titles. So, you want to participate in the contest too, is that right?
Indeed we do. We've been assisting with the rebuilding effort in Garlemald. Yet while progress is being made, the question remains of how the nation might reconcile with its neighbors. We believe there is much we might learn from Tuliolal, a nation founded on unity. And in return for this honor, we would spare no effort in supporting your claim.
The more the merrier, I say. And I'd be keen to learn about Eorzea and Garlemald from you as well.
Having recruited so many committed and capable allies, I presume you have no need for my continued assistance?
That's right, Aaronville. You can just move along. Move along.
Nonsense! Like I told you before, you're indispensable. They're strong, aye, but strangers to our land. They need someone to guide them, to point out the dangers, and spare them grisly deaths.
Spare them grisly deaths.
I can't think of anyone better suited to that task than you. What's more, despite your assertions, I know you haven't given up on the City of Gold.
As I recall, Kryl, you were the first to state your desire to visit Tural.
Perhaps I was.
No, Kryl,
Still,
you can
I
go.
can't help but worry about being away just when our order is beginning to find its feet again.
They're going to be fine without you. They'll be fine.
You have nothing to worry about.
That's right. You have nothing to worry. It's going to be fine. You guys can come and it'll be awesome.
I haven't forgotten how you held the fort while I set off to explore Alzadal's legacy. It's only fair that I return the favor. Pray, leave the students to Ojika and me.
Oh, Grahachia is not coming along?
But, Raha...
You want to retrace your grandfather's steps, don't you? This is a rare opportunity, and I insist that you seize it.
That was the dude, respect, nod from Stefan there. You have to kind of be able to interpret them. At least that's how I interpret them in my head.
Thank you, Raha. Thank you.
Well, looks like it's settled. I'm counting on you all to help me win the throne.
I suppose now is a good time to show you what I spent a small fortune on at the Agora.
Cool.
There. This, my friends, is the latest map of the world, created to celebrate our friendship with the Loporrits. Cast your eyes west of Sharlayan, for there it lies.
If you aren't up to date on Final Fantasy XIV, the Loporrits are a different kind of bunny people that live on the moon.
The site of your next great adventure, Tural.
I mean, I know that I've kind of already sort of drawn this comparison. This, like, with like the larger landmass here and it getting narrow here and then a larger landmass here, it kind of feels very North America, South America to me. And the one large mass here is kind of Europe and Asia. I mean, maybe I'm just sort of grasping at things, but that's just sort of how that's the vibe I get. That it's at least influenced by our world. Oh, it's the Endwalker music. That song is so good. All right, I want that map in 4K, and I would like to have it as the wallpaper at my office computer tomorrow morning. Roll credits. Hey, that really is the end of Endwalker. Gosh, how do I feel about that? The story was really good. 6.5.5 had a good story. I enjoyed it. I liked moving around and kind of getting to interact with those characters. I don't know how I don't know. The jury's still out on Tural, but I think it's going to be until we get there. I like Wook Lamont a lot. I think she's fun. I think she's cool. I think Erinville is still not amazing. There were some noticeable absences, and I'm like right there. And there's no Urianger, there's no Yashola, been no Estinian. Kind of, I don't know if concerned is the right word, but it's a little bit weird that they weren't there. I mean, those are very, very important members of the Scions. And they weren't even there at all. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. As far as what I am looking for in Tural, and I want it to be Final Fantasy XIV, but with a very different type of flavor. And I really do think we're gonna get that. Endwalker was very much closing the book on that whole Hydaelyn story, and that's been said multiple times by multiple people. And it is, I think that we can really look forward to something that still feels like Final Fantasy XIV to all of us, but just has a wonderful new and very exciting flavor to it. I can't help but be psyched about it. I mean, when this is available for pre-order, I will throw my money at them. And when they announce a launch date, I'll take days off from work so that I can be there. You know, so I can play on opening day. I'm really excited about it. Much more than I am excited about World of Warcraft's forthcoming expansion. I don't know, just don't really feel WoW right now, and I played WoW a lot in my life. I mean, World of Warcraft kind of got me to where I am doing this right now. I mean, World of Warcraft is where I started podcasting, and that kind of grew into doing kind of live podcasts over streams, and that kind of got me to here, to streaming Skyrim way back when. Oh, Xenos. I kind of miss Xenos. With his golf bag of swords. That was fun. Good times. All right, can I speed this up? I would like to do that. Yeah, let's... Am I hitting this right? There we go. That looks like that's as fast as we get it to go. We also know from the trailer, like, Estinian is in the trailer. Urianger, who's right there, is in the trailer. And I think Thancred is too. And you know what? In the trailer, Gratia is in the trailer eating a taco. And they've mentioned that burritos are a thing that people eat in Tyrol. So burritos and tacos kind of go hand in hand. Gosh, I want Mexican food right now. That sounds amazing. And I'm pretty sure that's not what we're having for dinner tonight. But man, that would be all right. Oh, I'm gonna miss Radzat too. That is, I mean, that's the nature of the beast. But in like MMORPGs, when you finish an expansion and kind of move forward into another one, like old Charlian and Radzat, you just don't really have a reason to go back. Like, you know, I've never gone back and done any of the Shadowblood content, and the only reason that I have been back to Ishgard is because that's where I was grinding a lot of crafting in the Ishgard restoration stuff. This art is really neat. I mean, this is really well done stuff. They haven't announced a release date for it yet. In fact, during Final Fantasy XIV Fan Fest, Yoshi P made a point of... All right, now that's just a screenshot. Made a point of saying we're not going to give a release date, and I think it's because they gave one for Endwalker, probably under pressure, you know, from Square Enix, and you know, he got to a point where he was like, you know what, if we try to release it, then it's not going to be the polished product that I want it to be, and that's why he pushed it off for a month, and now he's learned from that mistake. That's my guess. That's my hypothesis, and that's why he's not saying we're going to do that now. And if you have never played Final Fantasy XIV before, go and play it. It is free to play. There are dozens and dozens. There's probably hundreds of hours of content 100% free. Like the main game and the first 2 expansions are free to play through. And there is a lot of meat there. There is a lot to chew, a whole lot. I definitely recommend it. I resisted playing this game for a long time, and my good friend Heather, who is amazing at this game, actually suggested, hey, you guys should be trying this. So after Blizzard had, the horrible situation they had there, and I decided, you know what, I don't want to be playing World of Warcraft anymore. I started playing this, and I really enjoy this game better. Enjoy better. That's good English. I enjoy it more. I think it's a lot of fun, and it is very worth, at the very least, giving the free trial an honest shot, because there's so darn much to do. I did not even scratch the beginning of the scratchings of scratching the surface in what we did here. So if you're watching over on YouTube right now and you're thinking, that looks okay, kind of neat, it is okay and kind of neat. It's pretty damn awesome. I wholeheartedly recommend it. If this is not your bag, if maybe the Final Fantasy games were not of interest to you, or if you just don't like MMORPGs, fair enough. But if you do like the vibe from Final Fantasy games, you play MMOs, there is positively no reason to not to give it a shot. All right, that is probably enough Final Fantasy XIV fanboying and advertising for me from today. Will this let me go faster? Nope, it sure will not. I'm worried that if I skip it, if there's anything like after it, I'm gonna lose it. But I don't want to watch it, so we're gonna cross our fingers. And if there are, then I'll just pick it up on YouTube later. Okay. I mean, did we essentially just walk out of the theater during the credits of Iron Man and not get to see? Oh my gosh, I did. Oh no. Speak with... Okay, we didn't. All right, good. Oh, I was really worried. Lest you wonder about your passage to Tural, Aaronville will arrange a ship through his guild. You need only worry about your own preparations. Speaking of which, please take this with you. A rugged and ready knapsack. May it serve you well on your coming adventures. Really? Now, I'm not sure when departure will be, but rest assured I'll let you know when I hear something. Till then, please take your ease. Knapsack. Okay. Maybe we didn't walk out of... Oh, we did. Meanwhile, in Limsa Lominsa. Oh, there's my buddy Estinian.
May I ask your destination?
Ask your destination. I like that guy.
The north and east, I've already seen. I suppose I'll head west this time.
West, you say?
He's so confused. You know about north and east and south, but what is this west of which you speak? Oh, wow. Meanwhile, in old Charlian, it's Urianger. Okay, and Thancred.
I see you've made up your mind. I had a feeling you'd be keen.
Are they coming with?
But to think that our comrades too are thither bound. Fate doth work in mysterious ways.
Indeed. It will be a grueling task.
Oh, damn!
Having to contend with them.
Having to contend with them? Oh, that's something I did not see. I can't imagine. Are we gonna have to fight them? That, oh boy, okay. That's exciting right there.
If the prospect doth trouble thee, 'tis not too late to decline the petition.
He's doing that thing that pitchers do when they're talking to catchers and they cover their mouth with their glove because they don't want people to read their lips. That's what that looks like to me.
Though thine expression would suggest thou art far from perturbed.
Oh, how could I possibly be, knowing what's to come?
What is it? Oh man! Come on, Thancred. Give me a little bit. Let me another little nibble.
Then let us delay no further and secure passage on a vessel.
Are you guys going already? It doesn't seem quite fair.
Aye. This will be a mission to remember.
Well, I mean, just so you know, we're gonna kick your ass. You will get positively served. As much as I like Thancred, you're going
Come,
down.
my friend. We make for Taral.
Is there another meanwhile, or is that it? Oh, there is a third one. Okay.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty? Or the treasure islands beyond
darn
the
it, that would have been
frozen
such a good
waters of
shot,
Blind
and I
Frost
missed it.
in Offerd's north?
There we go.
The
All right.
fabled gold
I got a good
cities of the
screenshot
New
in.
World.
I'm happy about that. What else you got, Emmett Selt? Weigh anchor now, the tide is high, and dawn of a new adventure nigh. Row forth to break horizons bond and tread the gilded path beyond. Super excited! Oh, that's going to be just fantastic. Well, hey, that's going to do it for now. If you came by and hung out with me for a little while today, thank you so much. Pebble Beach, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for telling me about that jacket. I really like the look on that. I might look that one up. But I am all done now. I'm gonna go and eat. I'm so hungry. I will be back tomorrow for more Coral Island. That will be at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 6:30 on the East Coast. And Thursday, normal service will resume. We'll be back with Aloy's Adventures in Horizon Zero Dawn, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 on the East Coast. That's all though, guys. Hey, enjoy your week. I hope that it goes real well. I hope that I see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. So long.